In the following tutorial, I am going to show you how to create breakable walls in Left 4 Dead. First thing is we need to decide which wall that's going to be able to break through. The infected will be able to break through it and rush into and surprise our survivors. So I'm going to choose this wall from outside, and they're going to be able to rush inside. And first thing is we need to insert a prop static. Go into entities, select prop static, and put it right in here. Now double click on it and go to world model. In here, filter to break wall, and here you'll be able to select different kind of breakable walls. I am going to choose something that resembles and comes close to the wall that I have, which is this one. I'm going to click apply, and it puts it right in there. Now another thing I want to do is I want to turn off disable shadows. I want to click to yes, and I want to bring this wall up so it matches and it touches the floor and the top of the ceiling. Now the height of this wall is 128 units, and if you created all of your walls 128 units for your map, then it should fit exactly right in there. If it doesn't, then you might have to create some brushes around so it fits perfectly in there. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to position my wall right inside the wall itself. And then what we're going to do is we're going to resize our brushes so it matches our breakable wall model. So I'm just going to take this, drag it out, and just duplicate a few brushes around it. So it looks something close to this, and I'm going to need to get rid of the no draw texture. And so this is our position of the break wall. Now the next thing we need to do is actually create the wall that will break. Now what happens is this is just a model that will be revealed after the infected break through a breakable wall. And to do that we need to use a brush and hide it, hide our model inside another brush. That brush will be a breakable surface. So I'm going to take one of these brushes again, go my top view, duplicate it, and just close off and hide my model just like this. So now it matches and it looks like just another wall. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this wall, press Ctrl T, and I'm going to change this to function breakable. Click apply, and inside the properties, first I want to do is material type. I want to change it to something that resembles my wall. In this case it's going to be a cinder block. And breakable by, you can set it to everyone, all infected, or only tanks. I'm going to choose all infected. I'm going to click apply. And also we're going to set up an output, but not yet. We're not going to do that just yet. So now it is a breakable surface. Next I'm going to create an info decal, and what that will do is I'm going to position those info decals on each side of these two walls, since when this breaks, what I don't want to have is these hard edge walls. So what I'm going to do is bring that back. Now I'm going to create an entity, and the entity is called info decal. I'm going to select it and I'm going to position it right in here. I'm going to bring it up a little bit higher so it in the middle of my wall. and in the properties double click on it, and I want to name it. And the reason I want to name it is when we set up an output for the breakable wall, it's going to reveal this info decal. Double click on it and let's name it breakwall underscore decal. And for texture, I'm gonna click browse, and for filter I want to click on overlay, and I want to scroll down and select breakwall. Click apply. Now for the next part, I want to take this, I want to duplicate it. Shift and left click drag and position it onto the second wall. And here I want to double click on this, and in the texture properties I want to click browse, go back and filter overlay again, and I want to select the breakwall underscore mirror. Now double click on your function breakable wall and go to your output tab. In the output tab we're going to set a few properties. First click add, and my output named, we want to name it on break. You can also type in and use one of the drop down menus. So on break, the target entity named, I want to bring back my breakwall decal that we named, and via this output activate. Click apply. So when we position these into decals, one thing is they have to be flat to the plane of the wall, each wall. So we need to make sure that they're positioned right along the edge. So by looking at the top and here on the side, we're gonna need to position this right around so you see it, the decal show up right here. So now we kind of see it, and the breakable parts will show up. We need to actually move this a little bit back, and just by clicking on the breakable wall and in the side wall we see it that it lines up. That should work. Okay, let's give it a run and see how it looks in game. So now let's test it out. And the way you do that, since we set this to breakable only by infected, we have a console command that we can make break this on command. So go to your console and type in ent underscore fire space exclamation point picker space break, and it breaks it for us. And we can see that it works. Our decals work on the corners. There's a few things that we'll need to fix, of course. The inconsistency of the wall to the rest of the texture doesn't match up, and there is a few other things, like texture doesn't match up. But overall, we have a function breakable wall working, and the infected will be able to break through this wall and get our survivors.